There's an organization called Northern Reinsurance Trusts in the north. It says it's doing conservation. Just the audacity of it. I mean, we used to live with animals before the white man came here.
Wildlife conservancies, they're basically a stocking horse. It's a cover.
It's about what is underneath, hedging it for the future. That is what all these conservancies are about. It's about hedging resources for the future. Whenever you have a national park in Kenya, there are natural resources in that. Savo trusts, run by a guy called Ian Sanders. It manages the Savo National Park, says it's protecting elephants. It has nothing to do with elephants. You find Ian Craig in the north, has nothing to do with conserving or helping Africans access markets. And who is funding some of these organizations? They're very extremely well funded. And they have a militia that is better armed than the Kenya Police and the Kenya Armed Forces, led by a guy called, I'm sure you've heard about him, who was the founder of Blackwater.
Eric Prince.
Eric Prince. It's in the north.
We talked about him on the first episode of the show when he talked about recolonizing Africa.
So when you tell you, not recolonizing, they never left. They are here. It's just that we don't see it.
We are much more docile because these were settler colonies.
So when you look at the colonial ordinance of 1935-1936, the establishment of that tribal police is to brutalize the natives into submission. Is the one that instilled the fear that we still have to date.
Former settler colony.
It's not a former settler colony because they never left. They were in Karen initially. Then Africans started moving into Karen. They moved to Naivasha. Africans started moving there. They moved to Gilgil and Nanyuki. You know, in Gilgil, there's a place where you find a whole community of white people on 10 acres each. Ruto and his team are still trying to take us back to... It's like there was something that was interrupted in 2002 when Moi was removed from power. Even bringing the charlatan preachers like Bonke, he's called who?
Yeah, Benny Hinn.
This guy, Benny Hinn. You know, it's like these guys are stuck in a time capsule.
Restorative or reparative development.
My only problem with governments leading this call for reparation, advocated for by the same comprada elite that you talk about. For Eurobond, I believe it's another way of extracting.
They said they were going to invest it in development projects in the regions where the Nama and Herero lived.
Reparations are necessary if they are structured.
If you look at slavery, you had participating African kingdoms. You also had the collaborators, which of course landed you in hot soup some time back.
The fact that our economies are not as developed as the Western economies means that we have an opportunity to build with these technologies in mind. All politics is local. I believe that. In Africans Rising, we introduce ourselves. I say, I'm Mutemi Wakiama. I'm an African from the Kenyan province. Because you are removing the mental borders.
What does that do to the model of the extractive capitalist system?
But the way the global economy is structured is that you need people to earn to consume.
Lenin saying imperialism was the highest stage of capitalism. So some people might argue maybe with AI, like
actually,
capitalism has invented something that will kill. To destroy itself. And there's a very interesting thesis by the former Greek finance minister, Yanis Varoufakis, a new form of capital called cloud capital.
Let's have 1,000 Sankaras. If you touch one,